His name is Gareth, and he rips bits. His name is Gareth, hence why it's Gareth's. His name is Gareth.
Good evening, and welcome. This is Gareth's improvised stand-up comedy. Okay, the way this works is that people will send in suggestions that I have not seen, and I riff on them for your pleasure. I do it live. My name is Gareth. I riff. It's Gareth's. There you go. So welcome. Excited. We now go to our very first segment. This is Riffs Just In. So every week I riff on 3 crazy news stories that my producer has picked, okay? So here we go. I've not seen any of this until just now. What's going on? There's Sarah Jessica Parker, there's a circle around a spine, and there's a kangaroo. The headline is, Sarah Jessica Parker Perfume blamed for Melbourne kangaroo attack. What? That's all I have. That's all the information that I have. The picture is Sarah Jessica Parker, a circled upper spine, and then a kangaroo. So her perfume obviously has some sort of pheromones or scent in it that drives the marsupial kangaroo crazy and makes them attack. It's obviously not a good fragrance. Anything that makes a kangaroo want to fight you is not a good smell. But also, what an amazing weapon this would be. How great would that in Australia, you don't have legalized handguns, which, by the way, huge fuck up. Get that. I know. Hey, yeah, well, we used to have guns, and then there was a big shooting, and we all turned them in. Yeah, well, way to fucking go, okay? How about you stand strong, like America? Let them happen every week, okay? And totally don't give a shit. Just just pray. I'm praying for you. But in Australia, you don't need guns anymore because you have Sarah Jessica Parker's perfume. So you could just go, anywhere where there's kangaroos and just sort of on someone's neck, and they'll be like, hey, what'd you do? And then just push them in a kangaroo enclosure, and then the kangaroos will just come and just beat the shit out of them. Because for some reason, Sarah Jessica Parker has made a fragrance that causes kangaroos to attack you. We have Jose on set. He is enjoying all the equipment. How you doing, buddy? You all right? You just ate. You want to do an early hi? Let's do an early hello. Come here. Come on. Let's say an early hi. Hi, I'll see you later. Okay, he'll see you later. So yeah, weird. I wish... sorry, there is a little something. Well, no, it doesn't help. It just says a woman who was stalked and attacked by a kangaroo on the outskirts of Melbourne has revealed the bizarre reason she was targeted. So this could be in her head. Also, stalked? Is that the right word? I mean, watched. Stalking is like pizza in the car. Like, I don't think this kangaroo is like sitting in front of her home like, that's the one. Right up there. Once she goes into the wild, I'll have my way with her. Hi, mister. It's a weapon. It's a weapon, and it should be used as such. You should need a permit to carry the Sarah Jessica Parker perfume. They should call it Sarah Jessica Kicker, because these fucking things are pelting people's spines. Okay, second one. What? Okay, Adolf Hitler elected in Namibia's local council elections, but has no plans for world domination? Mr. Unona was given the unfortunate name by his father, who did not realize who Hitler was or what he stood for. What the fuck? What? Adolf Hitler elected in Namibia's local council elections, but he has no plans for world domination. Well, what is... change your name. Change your name. Change your name and talk to your father about names. That's what you should do. You should not have gotten to the point where you can be legally elected into any office, council, whatever, without having just decided that Adolf Hitler is not a working name for a person to go through society having. I mean, good fuck. Is there a worse? Like Adolf. is a bad name. You know what I mean? Like nobody, like Adolf. I mean, I'm sure like Adolf. There's some Adolfs, roaming around the hills of Germany somewhere. But and Hitler. I mean, if your last name is Hitler, you change it. But to have the balls to call your kid Adolf Hitler and to not know who he was, who does that? Wouldn't you want to name your child after someone that you knew something about, right? You just don't go around just going like, I'm going to call him Pol Pot. Do you know who Pol Pot is? No. Whatever. Meet little Genghis. Yeah, little Genghis Khan. Do you know what Genghis Khan did? No, and no interest. But the name is perfect. There's not a bad part of the name as far as I'm concerned. Adolf Hitler. This is my daughter, Gabriella, and my son, Adolf Hitler. So you two, go frolic. Adolf, don't take all the toys. You just have created a terrible situation for a child. Adolf Hitler is your son. And he won. And people voted for him in a local fucking election, proving everything that I've just said, rendering it useless. Useless advice. Because he won. Because that is how stupid politics is. If you just recognize anything, it's just like if a Kennedy runs, you just go, Kennedy, right? You see Adolf Hitler on the ballot, you go, well, he's got that notoriety. I don't know much about the other man, but I know what Hitler wants. Adolf Hitler. Yes, that's who I'm voting for. Fucking A, that is crazy. But I have no plans for world domination. Oh, good. Okay, that's 2. We've got a third one. Oh, boy. Adelaide family returns home to find koala perched on Christmas tree in lounge room. Holy shit. Well, first of all, let's get it out of the way. Adelaide. They return home. I mean, is there a more, Australian thing than to come home? Besides a kangaroo attacking because of Sarah Jessica Parker perfume, this tops that Australia-wise. Now, look, either the koala was in the tree, which has to be the case, or somehow one of the laziest creatures on the planet found a way to get inside of a home and just get past the ornaments and just get in there. It's a pine tree. I don't believe that they get much from pine leaves, I guess. What are they called? Pricks? We'll call them pine pricks. Needles. There it is. But that is as Australian as it gets. Yeah. Hey, Darlene, have you noticed something inside of the tree? No. What do you reckon's inside of the tree? It looks like, and maybe you should have a look so you don't have to take my word for it, but it looks like we've got a kangaroo inside of there. A kangaroo? Well, it would be far too Australian. That would be peak Australian. There's no way we could have a kangaroo inside of a tree. Well, we've got one. Well, what's he doing then? What do you reckon he's doing? He's sleeping. That's all they do. They sleep 22 hours a day. Did you wish for it? Well, now that you mentioned it, actually, about a week or two ago, I did actually say to myself, well, I wish this year for Christmas we had a koala. Oh, well, it's a Christmas miracle, isn't it? Well, I suppose it is a bit of a Christmas miracle. Christ, look at him. Hey, there's 4 or 5 in here. Are you kidding? No, there's 4 or 5 of them in here. Christ, what are they all doing? Well, what do you reckon they're doing? They're bloody sleeping, aren't they? And I'm trying to see, in the picture you can't, oh no, you can see it in the picture. In the picture, let me tell you what's happening in the picture. In the picture, the man is, first of all, the couple is gloved. The man has on cleaning gloves. He's got a bag open, like a Santa satchel, and the koala is like sniffing his glove in the satchel, like, do I care? And by the way, if this happens to you, the only move is to not tell anyone and keep the koala in your tree for the holidays. What if you didn't? I have like a tree. It's a fake tree, but I don't really look. I don't study it day to day. There could be a koala. Oh my God, there is a koala in it. Holy shit. So yeah, that's a fucking wild, wild tale. I wonder what it would do. What you should do is you should just spray Sarah Jessica perfume on a ball and just throw it out of your house. Watch that koala dart. Have you ever heard koalas argue? Like have an actual fight? They make beast noises. You would expect a koala fighting sound to be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's like, bah. It's nuts. You got to look it up. Okay, there we go. That is the end of Riffs Just In. So now we go to the suggestions. This week we have a guest suggestion. The guest suggestion this week is from a good buddy of mine. His name, you know him. He's an Australian comedian. He probably has a koala in his tree. His name is Dilruk Jayansia. I tried to get that better. I thought it was Jinsaya, but it's Jayansinya. That didn't work. Anyway, Dill, he's the man. So, I'll be doing Dill's podcast very shortly. Okay. First suggestion, the war on Christmas. Man, yes. We need to fight, okay? Now listen to me. This is something we can all agree on. I'm anti-war, but we can all agree there's a fucking war on Christmas, okay? Tell me the last time you went out during December this month and got the sense that it was Christmas time. Exactly. You don't anymore. Nobody's selling trees. Nobody's coming to your house trying to give you wreaths, right? Or the ornament business is done. I don't even remember what date Christmas is anymore because the war is that strong, right? It's a war. It is a powerful war. Who's fighting the war? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure we're just saying that it's non-Christians, that they're bad, right? And, well, how did all this start? The second some dickbag said happy holidays. Happy holidays. I know what you're saying. You want to be a Satanist. It's obvious. Oh, bastards. Do you even understand the roots and the history of Christmas? This is the day that Christ was born, okay? That's right. Well, how was he born? Well, it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple story. In the middle of a barn in Jerusalem, there was all of a sudden a North Star shone brightly. Shone? Shut the fuck up. And 3 wise men, one carrying frankincense, one carrying gold, and the third carrying something called myrrh, which I believe is used for fire, but I'm not 100%, found him. And they went inside, and you'll never guess what they saw. The baby Jesus? Don't spoil this. Yes, they saw the baby Jesus. But his parents had an interesting story. What was that? I'm getting to it. The baby Jesus was inside of the Virgin Mary. Well, she's not a virgin. Oh, yes, she was. Well, how'd she get a baby inside of it? The Immaculate Conception. What's that? That's when a baby just gets in you without fucking. That's not possible. I know. And that's why it's so important that we celebrate it and fight off this vengeful war. Wait. She never fucked and got pregnant? That's right. That can't happen. Sure it can. Name one other time. No. Because that's why it's so special. A lot of origin stories about deities are interesting and fascinating, but this one has a baby with no bang. That's a miracle, goddammit. And I'm sick and tired of people saying, Happy Holidays, or even worse, Happy Hanukkah. Blah. How dare you? How dare you try to bring Hanukkah to a Christmas war? Go fuck yourself. Stick the menorah up your ass. Yeah, but it's pretty miraculous. I mean, they had enough oil for one night and it lasted 8 days. Oh yeah, I guess that is pretty miraculous. Until you consider that Mary got pregnant without ever letting Joseph's dick inside of her. Whew. Sorry, I just get fired up because the war is so vicious. Right? And if you think about it, we're constantly fighting back against the war on Christmas, right? That's why we went into Libya. I thought that was oil. Stop talking to me. Anyway, this year, remember, the most amazing day of all, the day that 3 wise men, well, really 2 wise men and a guy who forgot about the occasion, came and brought 2 very valuable things and myrrh. And a lady who never had sex pushed a baby out. Wasn't she freaked out when that happened? Oh, I'll bet she was. She probably just thought she had diarrhea, That's what happens a lot on these baby shows. You ever heard of that show, I Didn't Even Know I Was Pregnant? No? Well, don't. I'm not sure if that's the title. Anyway, we're moving on. Good Lord. Sorry, I got fired up. Oh, man, finding out you don't like your travel companion too late. That's a great suggestion. I mean, that really is that is brutal. You know, when you travel like with Dave. Like I travel with Dave Anthony all the fucking time normally, and thank God we get along. Have fun together. But if you've ever gone on I remember I went to Italy with a girlfriend, and she was in a pretty bad mood. And she was tough to travel with. She also had a freak out when she couldn't get Dramamine at the Italian airport, like freaked out, and in front of my family, and it was not comfortable. It was not a good scene. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, you know, like you've made a plan. You basically have married someone for a little while, and you have no choice but to share space, share a room. Like, I'll tell you one thing. Even if I'm traveling with someone that I like, I don't want to sit next to him. I want to sit away. The flight small talk is the worst. You know, when you're with someone and they want to talk through the whole flight. Like, any place that's enclosed like that, it feels like your conversation is under a microscope and people are really, you know, just absorbing everything. It feels like you have a microphone all the time on the plane if you're talking. Because most people aren't talking. They're just sitting there, you know, farting. But people do, you know, and then when you hear people talk, oh, it's so annoying. It drives me crazy when people are talking. You know what I hate? I hate when people hit it off. When two strangers hit it off. You know what's even worse than that? Is when two strangers hit it off and you're in the same row, right? Like your window and like middle and aisle have just all of a sudden been like, oh my God, my son went there. Get out of here. That's a small world. Oh my God. Do you want to get a drink? Let's have gin and tonics. That sounds awesome. I have chocolate. Can I have a piece? Oh yes, beefer. We're BFFs. Beefers. You know? That drives me crazy. But yeah, you need to vet a travel companion. I know people who have gone on trips that are absolute nightmares. Nightmares. Because they've just decided to hitch their wagon to someone who's a psychopath. So you need to do some vetting. You know, that would be great if when you landed somewhere you could just go your separate ways, but you've made fucking plans. Next one. Favorite Thanksgiving dessert. Well, I guess I'm not a big dessert guy. I don't love desserts. I like, you know, I would rather eat like a bunch of salt and vinegar potato chips after a meal. I'm not kidding. Than something sweet. But I do like pumpkin pie. So I would say pumpkin pie is my favorite Thanksgiving dessert. And by the way, I think we're probably okay to start tweaking the name Thanksgiving a little. You know, like the Washington football team has now changed its offensive name. This name is not offensive, but it does represent something that is offensive. So we could call it Turkey Day and probably get away with that. But, you know, when a holiday is founded, the roots are founded upon a lie, I don't know how right it is to keep the label or to even celebrate it. And, of course, it's different if we're talking about fucking Christmas. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, here we do go again, okay? Because Thanksgiving has a history of fibbery. Right? Whereas the story of Christmas is 100% accurate. Well, it's not that accurate. Why is it not accurate? Let me guess. How did she get pregnant without having sex with Joseph? Yeah, that's a huge hole in the story. Well, guess what? The huge hole is the one in Mary after she pushed out the future deity named Baby Jesus. Okay? And I'm sick and tired of people coming after that holiday. All right? You could do what you want to Thanksgiving. You could take President's Day. I don't really care that much about the 4th of July. But if you touch Christmas and the beautiful origin story, I will come for you. I will find you. I will be the koala in your tree, and this koala is going to have the perfume that it's going to spray on you. It's a Sarah Jessica Parker scent, and I'm going to attack you with my claws. Did you just include like everything we've talked about so far? Yes. Whew. Sorry, I get so emotional about Christmas. It's such a beautiful day. Founded upon truth. But yeah. Pumpkin pie. Actually, I had pumpkin pie this year, and my favorite part about pumpkin pie is the whippets. You can really nail those whippets. I'm kidding. But in high school, I did a lot of whippets. This is my impression of my mother every time she tried to use whipped cream that she'd bought in high school, okay? This is my impression of my mother. Every time she would go to the fridge, try to use her whipped cream. Oh, God, it's all flat and liquidy again. What's happening at Ready Whip? Right? I know what happened. Do. All right, here we go. Next one. Ooh, lingerie for men. Interesting. I'm trying to think, what would that look like? Well, the chest you're able to reveal as a man. What would it be? I mean, I guess silk boxers? I don't know. It's very, like I've said before, it's very difficult when you're trying to show off the male physique. There's a lot of pitfalls, right? I don't know how much you want to display the penis. The balls, you've got to keep shrouded. So I don't know. I would say, what do you wear as lingerie for men? I mean, I guess you could kind of wear like a, sort of sexy mesh shirt, right? If I walked in a tight mesh shirt, what's up, And then maybe, I guess the thongish? No, I don't think thongish. I mean, I'm not even thinking of myself as just men in general. Like, it's just, personally, I have a bare ass. Meaning that I have a little tail that I wag and it's covered in fur. No, I mean, I don't have hair on my ass, but if a man has hair on his ass, you don't want to display that. It almost feels like lingerie for men is a bathrobe because you can see part of it, and there's a lot that's covered up, which I think is a good idea. And it's a double standard, I agree. I mean, I personally am attracted to the female physique, but I also think there's a lot more to, like, the breasts are, like, covered up, like, so it's a big reveal when you get to see the breasts. And the ass is not hairy, and the ass is good, but with men, there's just, there's just a lot of hair. Like, women get waxed and stuff. Men are just gross. Like I've said, I keep it trim and taut, but I don't know. I don't know what the fuck lingerie, what would a man wear for lingerie? I don't know. I do know that when I was in high school and my friends were in college, I went to go visit another buddy of mine who wasn't in college but was older. We went to go visit one of them, and one of the guy whose place it was left. He was going to come back in about an hour, and he left me and my friend, and while he was gone, I put on his girlfriend's lingerie as a joke, as a goof, and I was walking around, and he'd, like, forgotten his wallet or something, and he'd been gone for, like, 4 minutes and came back, and I already had his lingerie on, his girlfriend's lingerie on. And again, I don't remember anything working. I don't remember any part of it being good for anybody. So I don't know. I don't have the answer. This is why I don't design underwear, especially for guys. I got little, maybe see-through underpants. But even then, think about that. That's just going to look like an elephant mushed its face up against enclosure glass. So let's push forward. Okay. Oh, shit. This is tough. Advice for a leftist in Maine working with a Trump supporter, Qanon-er, and most importantly, flat earther. My advice, don't talk. Don't talk. Or just be very delicate in the subjects that you pick. It's very hard now to not talk about the world around us, but I would just keep it to sports. But then you're going to talk about COVID, and then that's going to be fake. I don't know. There's not a lot of topics you can talk about. You want to know what I would do? Here's what I would do. You work with them. I would maybe look into some of these things a little deeper and just start letting them talk. Because the more that they talk, the more that you realize there's not really much to it. The evidence of flat Earth is basically picture theory-based. And the rationale behind it, like, this is what I always ask. Who gains? Who gains? What do they gain? What does a flat earther gain? Right? Why is that a theory? Tell me why they told us the earth was round. What did they gain by this big lie? What did they get? What have they convinced us of? It's not like we're all buying, like, it's just not like round earth is a huge advertising thing or there's a bunch of merch involved. It's just what it is. So why did they do it? That's my same thing with COVID. Like when people are like, well, no, they're getting you to wear the mask so that then they can control your mind. And then and you're like, but for what? For what benefit? Why did South Korea have some cases but then eradicated it pretty much? Why what is the gain? I mean, why would Trump be a part of that? He lost the fucking election because of it. Why would he be part of it? It does not add up. It makes no sense. So, I don't know. I mean, there's many holes to poke. The question is, do you even want to bother? And I think the answer is honestly no. You live in Maine, just talk lobster. Just stick to seafood, you know? But then, of course, they'll be like, the lobster's not a crustacean. It's actually a Satan baby. And you're like, fuck, can we talk about Earth again? This is crazy. But I don't know. That is all I got for you. That's a tough situation. Get a new job? I don't know. Oh, eating at the kids' table. Well, I mean, we've all been there. We've all eaten at the child's table. You put a little table for the little kids, and sometimes people get stuck there. It's not the worst. You can certainly drink anyone under the table. So that's nice. But it's embarrassing, which is why it was so embarrassing when Trump got sat at the kids' table for that. Who gave him the tiny table? Who decided he needed a table for a toddler? How did he sign off on that? You know what you should tell him, the guy who was asking about the flat earther in Maine, or person? You should say you're a round tabler. What's a round tabler? I believe that every table is actually a sphere. Well, that table's flat. No, it's not. They're lying to you. Just go further, maybe. But eating at the kids' table, never good. Eating off the kids' menu, always good. Macaroni, carrot sticks, peanut butter and jelly, good stuff, right? Always good. But yeah, it is a bummer. Unless you're a kid, then it's great. Remember when you're a kid looking at the adult table, you're like, why would anyone want to go there? As a kid, you're like, this is the table. We got apple juice, we got mashed potatoes, and we got no supervision. So I don't know. I'm not sure about eating at the kids' table. Shall we just check in with the comments for a wee moment? How's everyone doing? Oh, ocean cockroach, exactly. Oh, God. Gare X Bear lingerie? That's a terrible idea. That's not going to happen. Because he is a toddler. Oh, that makes sense. I've still actually yet to... Alexis, you've never eaten a lobster? That's fucking... I don't know how you get this far in life without having tried lobster. I used to love Red Lobster. Red Lobster was my favorite restaurant. And Red Lobster taught me a lot of vital life lessons, right? Like, I knew what I wanted. Popcorn, shrimp, French fries, Shirley Temple. And I stuck with that. My father would always go... Don't you want to get something a little better? And I'd go, what's better than popcorn, shrimp, and French fries in a Shirley Temple? And by the way, I still don't know. Okay, here we go. Forgetting your credit card at the bar overnight. Man, what a fucking feeling that is, huh? It's better than losing your credit card. That's the worst. But yeah, the moment when you've just over-intoxicated and you... have gotten home, and you're happy to be done, and then you're like, fuck, I left it. Or even worse, it's the next day when you're hungover as shit, you're going to get a breakfast sandwich of some variety, right? You order a lot. You order like a pig human. You got to lay one of those big orders down. One of those orders where they give you like 4 sets of plasticware, 45 napkins, and it's just for you. When you walk in, you're like, let me get 3 egg sandwiches, 2 tofu scrambles, 6 hash browns, and a bunch of ketchup, and guess if you have tater tots, I'll take them. And they're like, all right, that'll be $81.76. And you're like, okay. And they're like, now how many silverwares do you want? And you're like, oh, it's just for... we have silver. My family and I have a bunch of silverware at the house. We don't need yours. It's a breakfast for 9. Anyway, let me just get the old, I'm a degenerate shitbag, and I don't have my things. You got to cancel everything, go home, sweaty piece of trash, just like, I'm a loser. You've already got that booze depression living in your cranium, just kind of sloshing around. You're an idiot. You're a dirtbag. Why'd you do that? So many shots, and then you've left your shit, and then you can't get it right away, right? That's the other part. Bars don't know, but most bars are not 10 a.m. Businesses. You know, most bars 5, 6, you know, so you're all day. It's the only time you're leaving messages on a bar phone. You're like, hey, it's me again, the guy who forgot his credit card. I just wasn't, I know it says you open at 6 and it's 3:45 now. I just wasn't sure if maybe the manager was in there doing some side work, rolling the silverware, maybe cutting the wedges or something like that. So I just want to check in again. Anyway, I'll call back at 6. I hope it's there, because if it's not there, what the fuck? And you have to live with that stress all day. Is it there? I hope it's there. What if it's not there? It better fucking be there. If it's not there, what should I do? Well, you'll cancel it. Well, then it'll take 10 days. You know? And then you finally get there, right? So probably same bartender from the night before. Hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, what's up, man? Hey, I called like 7. Yeah, your credit card. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, okay. And you get it. Hey, close me out. That's just such a piece of shit. I'm just such a loser. I am a loser. And I ordered food for 9, and it was just for me, you know? And then you got to leave a huge tip. You're like, oh, $25. I'm a businessman. You don't have it, but you're like, I'm a businessman, you know? And then you leave. And then then you learn that lesson every 3 years. And then every 3 years, you relearn it. Every 3 years, you go out, you have too many Jim Beams, and you leave your fucking credit card at some holiday party or something, which brings me back to Christmas, okay? I'm sick and tired of people trying to take it away, okay? Christmas is about family, drinking, and a miracle. The miracle about the lady who just got pregnant out of nowhere. I don't like your attitude. I don't like the way that you naysay. Yeah, well, I don't like your story. That's fucking bullshit. I mean, honestly, like, I feel like, you know, the guy who brought Murr makes the most sense. Murr makes no sense. Well, it at least makes more sense than a woman getting pregnant without screwing. She clearly fucked Joseph. You take that back. She did. It's not a bad thing. Weren't they a couple? You take it back. I don't want to talk about their relationship status. Jesus was born from nothing except for God's thoughts and a woman's womb. Huh. Whew. It's just an emotional time of year. That's all it is. It's an emotional time of year. Okay. Oh, I love Big Red. Okay. PETA. Not the bread. The organization. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Well, okay, look. PETA is a flawed organization in a number of ways. A lot of times their logic does seem a little bit off, but at the end of the day, I do support a lot of what they do, because you know they do try to save animals. Sometimes their tactics are off. I don't think they do a good job of explaining to people who are, people don't give a shit normally. So you can't just aggressively shout at people to make them learn. But then again, it's frustrating because, I don't think a jacket should be made from fucking rabbits. I don't think that, animals their fur should be taken. I don't think they should live in cages. I don't think they should suffer. I don't think they should be scared. I mean, I also don't understand that about meat. I remember reading something once, it always stuck with me, that the last thing going through the body of the animal that you're ingesting is paralyzing fear. Animals who are waiting to be killed in slaughterhouses, they know what's coming. It's a line, and they're waiting in line to be killed. And so, that always fucked with me. I've never forgotten that you're eating a steak. There's something to that emotion. It's crazy, but there is something to it. But yeah, I actually remember when my buddy Steve Byrne, I gave him a joke about, I was like, look, if you're he had this on something, and he changed it and made it better. But the basic idea was, how about this? If you're going to name your organization after something, maybe don't name it after the bread that's great to put chicken inside of, But yeah, so it's a complicated, flawed organization, which is a lot of places that try to do right. But I know PETA is, for a lot of people, specifically upsetting. But, I think you need to sometimes see graphic imagery to make the connection of where your things come from. Because, yeah, it's not fair, in my opinion. Anyway, shopping at Ikea. Well, how do you like this? I've never shopped at Ikea. I've never done it. I have a thing or two from there that I think was ordered for me, but I've never shopped in an IKEA. I've been in IKEA, but I've never spent the day like, walking around being like, Farkenguggens, what are these? That's an ottoman, but it seems like a fucking nightmare. It could seem, the parking for IKEA, the IKEA on like a Saturday at like 4 is a nightmare, and it just seems like a lot. I don't even know how I end up with the things that I have, but I just kind of acquire them like a Rolling Stone. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've put together IKEA stuff. I had a girlfriend who bought some IKEA stuff once, and I put it together. And yeah, IKEA has really changed the way that people do shit. You get your little kit, you get your little Allen wrench and your screws and your directions, and you sit down, you slowly put it together. You got the A1 and the A2 and match them and all that shit. But all I know is best horse meatballs you're ever gonna taste. Okay, a lot of people think that a good horse meatballs you gotta go to a nice fancy, like a Dante's or something like that. No, you go to IKEA. They got the freshest horse. Oh my God, you're gonna love a horse. It is so delicious, falling off of the bone, meatball. But yeah, so I never fully shopped at IKEA. So there you go. Oh, God, accidentally hurting your pet, e.g. stepping on them. Does e.g. stand for ergo? Maybe. It's the worst, because it's terrible. Like, if you, and I do, a lot of times it's like the pet's like, oh, my God, what are you cooking? And you're like, I'm cooking, I don't see anything. And then you turn around and your pet's like, arr! Like, that specific squeal just kills you. You're like, oh no, and the animal's like, I knew it. I knew he was gonna turn. Like my cat, he and I have been hanging out for 5 years. 5 years, and all I've done is done right by him. I saved his life. I've fed him. I've gotten him healthy. Don't make weight jokes. I take care of him. He sleeps next to me. Whatever he wants, he's spoiled as fuck. He has fresh, whatever. He has all these things. All I do is pet him when I see him, and if he wants to snuggle, I give it to him, And yet, anytime, I kick a shoe wrong or something, he thinks I'm going to kill him. Or whatever. I walk into a room, he's gonna do it, And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what do I have to do to earn your trust? So they're such fragile beings. So when you do that step, they're like, they freak out, and it's a special squeal because nobody's expecting it. Because you're not like, oh, I might step on my cat, you're like, there's no cat here. Wow, belly. And the squeal that comes out of them. And then you have to do the mea culpa. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. And they seem to understand it was an accident, which I've always loved. Your cat, the second you start going, oh, no, your cat's like, you didn't mean to. You're not gonna kill me. You're like, no, I'm sorry. It's like, you are sorry. You're like, yes, I'm sorry. And it's like, okay, I'm not gonna purr, but you can pet me. I'll give you a little, It's a sad experience. It is a painful, sad experience, and one we've all gone through. What I like to do is let the cat then walk on me for a little while, or the animal. Could be anything, horse, whatever it is. It'll be meatballs later. Doesn't matter. So yeah, it is. It's a tough situation. Oh wow, pancakes versus waffles. I think in a straight heads-up competition, I go waffles. There's something there. It's a crispier dough, and it's or whatever the fuck you call it, a crispier batter. So it's like it's a crispier pastry, and the ridges, the little ridges, Like what did you do? You built a better pancake. That's what you did, right? And also easier to make. Waffles, way easier to make. I mean, you don't even need to make them. You got a thing called a maker, You just go, All you got to do is, rotate the maker once, comes out. I had a Mickey Mouse waffle maker when I was a kid. Didn't even like Mickey Mouse. Loved waffles, though. And pancakes, yeah, they're good, but they're, again, you get a stack of pancakes, you got to do a lot of syruping to get what you can get in the containment units of the waffle quadrants. The waffle quadrants are key, okay? It's just a better designed pancake. It's like Steve Jobs saw the pancake and then came back with the waffle. You know, iPancake. That's what he'd call it, the iCake. This is the new iCake 7. Filled with recessed syrup stations. That's right. You know, so I'm pancakes. Come at me, bro. Come at me. Oh, curmudgeons. Curmudgeons, sweet curmudgeons. Curmudgeons is such a weird, oddly spelled word. It's so weird. It's like a cum dungeon. I'm a curmudgeon. You mean a cum dungeon? Sort of. Sort of, that's what I mean. Yeah, well, curmudgeons are I mean, I'm a curmudgeon at times, you know? Yeah, I think there's times when you are a curmudgeon, you know? Just, I don't know. Just, it's in human nature, I think. There are times when you're a curmudgeon, but dealing with a curmudgeon is quite an impossible task, you know? You ever do the thing where you switch curmudgeonry? You know, one person's the curmudgeon, the other person tries to fix the curmudgeon doesn't budge, this person gets sick of it, becomes the curmudgeon now trying to sweet talk the freshly born curmudgeon out of curmudgeonry back to the rational world, and all you could say is, you don't tell me when to be a curmudgeon, you curmudgeon. But yeah, I mean, like I always say, curmudgeons are just cum dungeons with an R. So that's a slogan I've patented, and I have patented it for a while. So yeah, I don't know. Curmudgeon is a fancy way of saying you're being a dick. But I guess you've made a life out of it a little bit more. Thankfully, I don't have too many curmudgeons in my world, in my orbit. You know, but yeah, you know, you try. You try to not be a dick. You try. That's all you could do. It's kind of the meaning of the world. Kool-aid Man! Oh, yes. Remember Kool-aid Man? The fuck was going on there, right? What was his deal? Kool-aid Man would just break through the wall if there was no Kool-Aid or if he, like, knew No, I think it was no Kool-Aid. Like, it was like people would be living in, like, a drab, you know, sort of very neutral-toned world. Like, all we got is this shitty juice. And then some fucking roided up pitcher of fruit juice would just bust through your fucking wall. Did somebody say they're having a bullshit time? And you'd be like, Kool-Aid Man. And he'd be like, doo-doo-doo, pew. You know, everybody'd have Kool-Aid. They'd be like, yeah, sugar, you know, yeah. You'd get the Kool-Aid mustache, you know, which is kind of like the Coke nostril. Shows you've been partying a little bit. I mean, it really is the Coke nostril of childhood. The Kool-Aid mustache. Just the slight hint of a little like, no, I'm a red devil. You know, but then reality strikes when the parents come home, you know. Be like, Kool-Aid, fuck yeah, woo, you're my best friend. You know, 2 hours later, the hell happening here? Huh? Yay! What the hell happened to this house? Huh? You guys left us with lame juice. The fuck's got, what happened to the wall? Did a car drive through here? No, the Kool-Aid Man came. Well, did he leave any contact information? We need to get a contractor over here. I don't know. He came and brought a bunch of Kool-Aid. Stop drinking that. Ow, why? Because you ruined our home. Well, I guess now that I look around, it certainly has changed a lot. Yeah, the hole in the wall is huge. Hole in the wall's not even, it's not that the hole in the wall's huge. There's no wall anymore. The fuck is his problem? Dale, language. I'll shout when I want. Dad, Mom, stop fighting. We're not fighting. We're discussing. Oh, no, we're fighting, Barbara. Oh, my God. Why are you guys so mad? Because you let a freak pitcher break into our home and fill you up with calories and sugar. And now you're all hopped up on it. Look at your red tears coming out of your eyes. Stop drinking your tears. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look at you with your stupid Kool-Aid mustache. He's my best friend. No, he's not. Don't say it again. Don't do it, Dad. This family's been ruined because of the Kool-Aid man. We no longer have a home. Where are the dogs? Oh, no. They got out through the wall. The dogs, they're gone? Both of them. Both of them are gone. I hope you're happy, little man. I didn't want this. I just didn't want to drink shitty juice. Did you say shitty? Kool-Aid man said I could swear. He's a liar, and if I ever catch him, I'm going to gut him in the pitcher. I'm going to turn that smile into a stomach wound. Jesus God. Well, don't say Jesus God. Why? Because it reminds me of the most important holiday of all, Christmas. And anyone who steps on it or takes the Lord's name in vain doesn't believe on it. And we're fighting a goddamn war, okay? Al-Qaeda is coming. Every other country in the world is trying to take it away from us, even though they celebrate it in a lot of nations. They don't do it right, all right? Christmas. Kool-Aid. Okay. Whew. Sorry, that took a minute. That's Kool-Aid. Yeah. All righty. Cats and Christmas trees. Yeah, I mean, like, they're like koalas. They really are. Like, my cat is always like I said, I got a plastic tree, but he's always over there like, should I eat this part? And you're like, no, don't eat the fucking tree. He's like, that's good for me. You're like, no, it's not for you. Don't do that. Of course, I pour catnip all over it and torture him. But yeah, they're it's one of those situations where like you can't always get a read on what's happening. Like cats do a lot of that, where they'll just be in a confined space and you're just hearing a lot of mischief, but you're not seeing anything. But then you start to hear displeasing noises and you have to go over there and physically extract the animal and be like, no, you know. But they like it, and I think the reason that they like it is because they respect miracles. They respect the idea that a lady without any semen had a baby. And I think anybody who fights that doesn't believe in miracles because that's a big one, okay? I call it a miracle because that asshole who brought that myrrh, prick. Good. The other two wise men should have just, on the walk there, they should have been talking to him, you know? You know, he's just like, frankincense and gold, that's pretty good. They're like, yeah. Hey, do you want to maybe drop the myrrh and just grab a handful of sand or something? He's like, why? You got myrrh. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can find some beeswax up ahead. No way, man. You can't beat myrrh. America. Hey, why are you guys running? You know? Okay. All right, here we go. What do you think about the Garebear t-shirts? Okay. I love the Garebears t-shirts. I don't know if it's that I recognize Care Bears so easily, but I love them. I love the little Jose Care Bear character, and I love the dish of food on his tummy. So I'm a big fan of the Garebears t-shirts. I don't push the merch. If you want stuff, you know, if you were going to buy stuff, then go for it. Well, the pins, I think, are good. But outside of the pins, I would say these Garebears shirts are pretty great. I would wear one, but they would beat the shit out of me. But I love them. So there you go. There's my answer. I got to keep thinking of what the Dilrook suggestion might be. Reiki. Yeah, Reiki. Reiki is energy healing. Reiki is when you have a Reikiologist. That's not a word. Shut up. Go over you and heal certain areas, your chakras. You know, they do a sort of energy cleansing. I've had Reiki before. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, yeah. And she's like, did you feel a difference? And I was like, I mean, yeah, a little bit. She's like, you should feel lighter and like you've experienced something. I'm like, oh, I feel like I've experienced something for sure. Let me just get the credit card out. It's at the bar. Damn it. But I went out with a girl who was very into it. And, you know, it's one of those things that, like, look, there's no rhyme or reason to a lot of shit. Like, people will be like, crystals, that's stupid. You can do whatever you want. Like, if you think it helps you, then let it help you. And if it's a placebo effect, who gives a shit? If you feel better, do it. You know, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else Who gives a shit? As long as what you do, how you live your life, who you want to be with, what you want to look like, what you want to do, any of that stuff, as long as it doesn't hurt somebody because of that, then it's fine. Then you should totally be able to fucking do it, and people should not fucking judge you for it. Like, obviously, Reiki for me, not for me. Do I know people who do it? I do. Go get it. Go have at it. I don't give a shit, you know? I don't give a shit. Just go do it. Who cares? Which I just think... You know, it's very, like, there's so many things that people do now that people judge people on, and that's just not the place of other beings. This, you know, the world is a better place the more that you put caring and affection into it, and just treat people with empathy, you know? Which brings me to, let me guess, Christmas. No, the Garebears merch. Hey! No, but that is how I feel. Being lactose intolerant and growing up in Wisconsin, well, my guess is that Wisconsin was intolerant to you. Look, it is the dairy state. That it really is. And yeah, California makes more dairy products, but per capita, Wisconsin, you cannot beat it. They are just, it's a dairy state. So you grew up and you know, everything. It's all cheese curds. You get, you know, all this special cheese. It's cheese. Everywhere you go, there's cheese. Everywhere is sort of, you know, they lean into it. So it's like, you want to wear a cheese head on your hat, you know, like, and that sort of shit. I actually did have a Packers cheese head. And then in high school, my cat pissed in it. And it took me maybe a game to realize, like, I had it on. I was like, let's do this. And then I was like, oh, God, Lucy pissed in that. That's no longer good. That's a piss head, which in England means a drunkard. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's not easy. It wasn't easy when I was turning vegetarian. Not like it's like a werewolf thing where it was like, you know, a full moon and I was like, oh, no, I can't eat bratwurst. But when I decided to become vegetarian, a lot of people had a major problem with it and couldn't understand it. Could not understand it. They'd be like, I know you're a vegetarian, but you'll eat a hot dog, right? And you're like, no, I won't eat a hot dog. I understand you don't eat meat, but you still do chicken, obviously. No, I don't do that. I understand that you're a vegetarian, but you'll have some fish, right? It's Friday. And be like, no, I won't do it. I don't do it. But so, yes. So... You know, by the way, how long until we rebel against the lactose intolerant? Lactose matters. Lactose matters. No, I get diarrhea if I have it. Bite your tongue, Missy. No, not in this country. These colors don't run. We have tolerance for lactose. I'm saying I physically can't have it. What a horrible thing to say. I physically can't have it. Wow. Wow. It's a term. It better not be a term you say any longer. I'm lactose intolerant. I'm intolerant of the lactose intolerant. The time has come. Lactose matters. Come on. All right, fine, I'll eat it. Good. My stomach. The nerve. You know? All right, here, let's have a little chatsy poo. Reiki falls in the woo-woo category by itself, harmless, but I've never known a Reiki person who wasn't also anti-vax. Oh, I've met Reiki people who believe in vaccinations. I don't think that's fair. Yeah, if it had a face, I won't eat it. Yeah, but ice cream. Well, they make good fake ice cream, for sure. Ian agrees with me. Lactose gives me bubble guts. How dare you? How dare you? Almond milk is banned in Wisconsin. It isn't, but anytime you go to like Wisconsin and you know you go somewhere and you're like, do you guys have like oat milk? You know, like a regular store. They're like, I think that's in the Hollywood weirdos section over there. Yeah, that's just it's different. It is a dairy-based place. That's what it should say instead of the dairy state. A dairy-based place. Huh. That's what we are. We're a dairy-based place. All you got to do, just if you believe in yourself enough, you can't ingest cheese. You just don't believe in yourself. You're like Neo in the Matrix after he got taken out of the Matrix goo, okay? He still doesn't believe in himself. He took the right pill, obviously, but he still doesn't believe in himself. But then eventually, after he gets the programming and he learns Kung Fu and realizes he can fly, that could be you, but with cheese. Pretty cool. Does your mom mind your vulgarity? Yeah, she does. My mother at times will ask me to, she'll hear something or she'll see something or we'll even just talk and I'll swear and she'll just tell me to not swear as much. But I don't know. I just think I don't know. I just feel, there's times where like if I'll listen to like stand-up, I'll try, when you do like an hour or something, you are very aware of how many swears you're using. Fuck is a great, fuck is a great spice to add into stuff, but too much, too spicy, right? So it's got to be the right amount, spoonful of sugar sort of shit. But then I think in just general conversation, I mean, I don't know, it's just how you talk. I mean, they are word enhancers. They are phrase enhancers. So, I think, calling someone a shithead is more powerful than calling someone, a douchebag. I think it's funnier, right? Or saying fuck is funnier than, like, damn, no, it's just not as funny to me. But again, you got to pick your spots. I do know some comics, like my buddy Roy Wood, he started going clean for a while, and that's very hard. But on the road, I'm very aware of it. Too many F-bombs can lose a crowd. So you are aware of it, and my mother, like any mother, my mother wants me to be a perfect being and flawless in every way, and I like to swear, I like to cuss, but try not to. But sometimes you just got. I mean, especially when we're doing the podcast, it's like, how am I not going to be like fuck? I mean, some of the stuff that you hear, you're just like, what the fuck? I mean, there's no other way to express it, Can't just go, oh, what the hell? You're talking about like people's human rights being abused. You got to go, fuck this. You don't go, damn them. So it is what it is. I thought they said, what's the first thing you're going to do after getting COVID? Which I was like, I don't like that. What's the first thing you're going to do after getting a COVID vaccine? Well, this ties into the previous one. I'm going to go see my mother. That will be pretty much the first thing on the docket I'll do. Is I will go see my mother, and then after that, I'm gonna, as soon as it's safe, I'm gonna go out on the road and, get back to what I enjoy doing, which is comedy in whichever form, stand up or the podcast, whatever it is, whatever I can do. So I'm and I'm excited for others to get it. I'm excited to see friends, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna book a trip and I'm gonna go see my mother. So that is priority number one. Flying on your own as a kid. I was just talking about this. I used to fly to England on my own all the time. Probably from when I was like 12 or 11 till now. I still do it somehow. What a hero. Yay! But it's very weird, very bizarre. You basically have handlers when you're super young, when you're like 11 or 10 or whatever. You have someone who walks you everywhere, and you have a little pouch around your neck that you wear, and it has like your passport and your ticket and all that stuff in it, and it's weird. It's weird. I flew, and then actually, like as I got a little older, like around 15 or so, I realized how great drinking on planes was, and I don't even necessarily remember how I would get booze, honestly, but I would somehow I would pour out like half of a Pepsi, and this was like ages ago, obviously, so you could pour whiskey in the Pepsi, and I would have like 2 or 3 like Pepsi whiskeys on the flight with me. And then another time when I was probably 14 or so, I sat next to a guy who didn't know my philosophy that I had those in my bag, and this dude was just an awesome English dude, probably like 30, and he was just like, mate, if you fancy a drink or anything, let me know, and I'll say that I'm your dad. And I was like, you'll say you're my dad? All right, Papa Bear, I want a beer. And he would just do it. He goes, my son, he'd like also a calling, So then I'd be like, oh, I should slow down. I'm going to have some Pepsi. This guy didn't know who he was sitting next to. But it's weird. It's a weird experience. It's nice when it's out of the way because you are scared to some degree. That's you're a kid. I mean, shit. So yeah, weird stuff. What's a good passive aggressive Christmas gift for a horrible in-law? Man, maybe just go with one of these really kind of old. Like, you remember like the Seymour Butts? Like Seymour Butts was this little thing you'd put on your car, and it had stickers, and you had a little button, and when you pushed the button, this guy would just moon people. Like, it wasn't a great product, but it made money. Get like one of those. Get like a Seymour Butts, or you should get a Billy Bass. Get a Billy Bass. Get one of those like Billy Bass things that you hang on, and then it just looks to you, and it's like, take me to the river and wash me down, Get him one of those. That's the gift that says, I don't give a fuck about you, right? So it's just a very simple, like, you don't matter to me at all, but here's $20 worth of that sentiment. Or just get like an Applebee's gift card. They can't go there. And make it for like a week amount of money. Maybe get like 3 gift cards. Get one for Applebee's, one for Home Depot, and then just get like a grocery one and make them all $10. Really annoying thing to have to kind of deal with. Or a video of you and the daughter or son, going at it. Sex tape. But I will say, be careful. You don't want to fuck with Christmas. It's the most important holiday that's ever... Here we go. Here we go what? Well, here we go again with this Christmas shit. Look, why don't you just leave if you don't like it, okay? Just get out of here. I can't get out of here. But all I can do is I can just tell you, it's pretty stupid. It's a holiday founded on some pretty stupid lies. What? I'm not going to take the bait. I'm not going to take the bait, okay? Just because you don't love family and fun and miracles, it's not a miracle when a woman just has a baby after no man touched her. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to have this argument with you anymore. Well, why don't you have it? Because you don't have a leg to stand on. I do actually. I have a bunch of legs to stand on, and some gold, and some frankincense, and yes, even some myrrh, which I believe, again, is used for fire or something of that nature. Good Lord. Raya, celeb dating app. Yeah, I was on Raya for a little bit. Here's the spoiler. It's just like every other dating app, except for every now and then, like Bethany Frankel or like Drew Barrymore or like someone like that pops up, and you're like, what the fuck? And you're like, yeah, I'll go out with Drew Barrymore. But it's like any other dating app where you are completely unfulfilled because it's designed to be unfulfilling. It is the dating apps are more like video games than they are actual dating things. Like, you match with someone, you don't go like, a match. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a cat. That's not what happens. You match, and then 7 days later it expires, or 10 days later it expires, or whatever. Or maybe you send a message, then you talk for 8 messages, and then you're like, shit, are we going to meet up? And you're like, no, So it is just as dumb. And I know a number of people who, you can like recommend people to get on it. Like, I've recommended friends to get on it, and they're also like, whatever. Except for my one friend, Anthony, who just... doesn't matter what dating app he's on, he just crushes. He's just like, yo, I'm meeting up with like 5 girls this week. And you're like, well, I'm on the same thing. What are you doing differently? I think the truth is that you really have to care about this stupid fucking profile, and I just don't care enough. Personalities is like, that personalities are what get you into like full attraction mode, And they're stupid. They're stupid and they're lazy, and you're gonna find yourself without people if you depend on apps for success or survival in any way. They are what they are. They're, they're there to make money. They're there to advertise at you, just like everything else. So I understand you can't go anywhere or do anything right now, so it sucks. But yeah, it's really not all it's cracked up to be. It's just like every other one of these fucking things. I promise. Okay. What do I want for Christmas this year? I'll tell you what I want. I want any asshole who doesn't believe in the miracle of the baby Jesus to just leave me alone. Well, no problem. I will leave you alone. But again, it's stupid. Stop it. It's dumb. Stop it. No, what do I want for Christmas this year? You. All I want for Christmas is you. Yeah, I don't know. don't care. Nothing. I really don't want anything. I want the world to come back to normal. I want the government to fix itself. It won't happen. I don't think there's really any tangible thing. Like even when it's my birthday, people are like, "What do you want?" I don't want anything. I have enough. I don't need any more T-shirts. I don't need any more shoes. I don't need, any more books. I don't need anything. There's really very little that I need. But, I'm lucky. I have enough shit. So, yeah, very very little. This guy Keith is sending me a bunch of pickles. I'm excited for that. That'll be fun. I don't even know if that's Christmas. Murkins. Now wait, what is a Murkin again? Hold on, let me give this a Google. Hold on. Hold the phone. I am holding the phone. Oh, stop it. I know what it is. Come on, phone. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Murkin. Well, first of all, I'm not sure if it seems like there's a couple spellings. Oh, it is. That is what it is. Oh. I did not know that. Okay, wait. I thought it's funny because I didn't want to guess. Because I know when I hear Murkin, I think pubic hair. Wait, is that the right Murkin? Am I looking at the wrong Murkin? Hold on, let's make sure. Because this could get real creepy. Murkin, okay. Oh yeah, it's spelled wrong on here, but yeah, it's a pubic wig. So a what a fucking weird. Now wait, hold on. Let's get into this a little deeper here. Let's dig deeper into the Murkin. A Murkin is a pubic wig. Murkins were originally worn by sex workers after shaving their mons pubis and are now used as decorative items, erotic devices, or in films by both men and women. So a Murkin is like stage puberty. What? I don't fucking know. I don't understand it. Yeah, a Murkin. I mean, a Murkin to me sounds like it sounds like a combination between it sounds like a magical. It sounds like a little magical being to me. Like, it seems like it would be adjacent to, like, a leprechaun or a river sprite, You'd be like, I stole a Murkin today, and I get one wish, But Murkins are fake pubes. They're fake bushes. And when I say fake bushes, I don't mean like Jeb. I mean, like, a fake bush. But I don't understand the need for that. Who needs a Murkin? For stage Murkin? I don't know. It sounds un-Murkin to me. You know what I mean? Murkins sound a little un-Murkin. Ding! Whoa, it rings. I don't know. That could maybe be the Dill suggestion. Turtles. Tortuga. Turtles are amazing. Turtles are fucking phenomenal. I don't know if you've ever seen a turtle with a Murkin, but hey, that's a toykin. But that's a story for another time. You know what I'm saying? But turtles are, amazing. Turtles live longer than humans if they're allowed to. But they're just, I fucking love them. One of my favorite shows, Naked and Afraid, when they find turtles and they eat them, it's very hard for me. When we were in the Great Barrier Reef, we did a show on it. No, but I was snorkeling around, and I followed a turtle for ages. I mean, the truth is, I don't need to say it again. I've said it many times. Nature is so fucking magical and beautiful that we need to preserve it forever, okay? And that might come at the cost of our lifestyles, but I don't know what the other option is. We have two options. One option, you don't change shit, ever, okay? And this is it, and we end. We're done. And the Earth, partially ends with us. Obviously, the Earth goes on, but we take a lot of species down with us. The other option is we tremendously inconvenience the way that we do business, commerce, and live, and we get to do that for generations, and that keeps going on, and we live in a harmonious world where the environment matters to us, and, we consider the habitats of other species important. Those are the two options. One of them, you don't get Arby's. I know that's tough for people. But turtles are awesome. I love turtles. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. They are great. I Fucking love them. I love the shell. I love that the underbelly is a weird little, it's got nice sensitive skin. Well, not sensitive, but you could touch it. The hard shell is genius. I mean, even in in nature, obviously different breeds of turtles and stuff, they adapt differently, but, there are turtles who have extremely long necks so that they can, they work for their environment differently. The shell, I mean, how much do you wish you had a fucking shell that you could just crawl into, right? When people are being douchebags and dickheads and you just go in your little shell, Like having a room on your back where you could retire to at any moment, that's pretty fucking cool. Good work, God. Oh, here we go again. Don't do it. Christmas is fake. Bullshit. Okay. Mall Santas. Oh, man. What a racket. What a world. What an existence. I've been Santa many times. Many times. More times than I can count. I was Santa. And even when I was Santa, the mall Santa gig seems a little shit. At least when I was Santa, I would have to read The Night Before Christmas, or I would have to, play some games or whatever. But, the idea of just rotating children to sit on your lap so you can lie to their faces. Santa, can I have a dog? Yeah, I'll give you a dog. Get out of here. Hey, Santa, I want a skateboard. All right, check under your tree, Timmy. Go get it. Santa, my parents are divorced, and I want them to get back together. Hey, boom, they're going to get back together. Get out of here, Sally. Just your life of bullshit, just with children and their little, their asses just sitting on you all day, just covered in whatever they're covered in, just sitting on you. You sit on a throne. You've got these weird elves around you, It's the parents, really. The children don't give a shit. And, when they do, but when they're like 2, and the parents are basically handing you a ticking time bomb that's just going to explode, watching a baby's face fathom what's happening, you have about 8 seconds before the kid explodes. The mom just is like, here, can we take a picture? You're like, get it fast, get the camera ready. All right, there, as the baby is going like, and you're like, take the picture. Take it now. And then the kid's like, and you're like, oh, shit, And the mom gets the shot. The dad gets the shot. They figure it out. But it is a shit gig. I wish it upon nobody. But it is what it is. By the way, you get douchebags like me who are like, I should get one. It's annoying. It's an annoying gig. Anything where you don't know who you're lying to and who you're not lying to, like when kids have their fantastical theories on Santa, when they're like, I know you're not Santa, but I know you're Santa's brother, and that he sends you around like Gallagher, and you're like, okay, yeah, sure. They're like, I recognize that you're the real Santa, but there's also 5 other real Santas, and you're like, exactly, yeah, you got us. There's 6 of us. We're the 6 Santas. So yeah, anything like that, it's a weird little job, but somebody's got to do it. And by the way, it represents, don't you, it represents the most important holiday of all, Christmas, when a woman got pregnant without cum. Okay. And that is it. That's it for the suggestions. So, okay, now my job is to figure out Dilruk's suggestion. I'm going to guess lingerie for men could be him. Forgetting your card, he doesn't drink anymore, but forgetting your credit card could be him. Garebears, Reiki. Reiki could be him. I don't know if he would know what Raya is. I feel like Murkins could be him. I'm going to narrow it down to either Reiki or acting auditions. Those are my guesses. Let's see. The celebrity suggestion. Oh, Raya! It was Raya. Of course it was. Yes, because he probably crushes on Raya. See, I bet he has great Raya game, Dilruk does. Well, thank you to Dilruk. Thank you to all you. Follow Dilruk. He's on all social medias. I follow him. He's fucking hilarious. And he was a big man, and he's lost so much weight, and he's now just a very handsome individual. It's a lot of bullshit, but I bet he does great on Raya. But without further ado, let's get the man you all came to see. One moment, please. It's okay. Boy, he was very tucked away in his little box, weren't you? Now, Jose, what is the thing you look forward to most every Christmas? Interesting. And what do you want this year for your Christmas? And what is a gift that you always get but never give? Okay, great. Well, let's just say, ho, 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 Jose. Aw, my little baby, my little man, my little boy, he does what he can. Look at his paws on my shirt. That's right. It doesn't hurt. He's a gentle baby to me, and he can be whatever he wanna be, 'cause he's a sweet little ho, Jose. It's a happy ho, Jose. He's a baby, he's an angel, and he's with me. Can't you see? He's such a cutie and an angel. I might put him atop my Christmas tree, 'cause he's an angel. No matter what you say or what you think, whoa, he's trying to get away. All right, I'll see ya. It was good to hang out, and now you're licking your leg with your snout. All right, that's all we got. Appreciate it, everybody. Have a good week. We'll be Thursday. It's always Thursdays unless you hear differently. So show up here on Thursdays and 6 p.m. I appreciate it. Is there anything else to say? Anyone else got anything to say? Yes. Megyn Kelly. What happened? Megyn Kelly. Yeah, she's fucking awesome. What's going on here? Gareth holding a ticking time bomb for the entertainment purposes. Yes, that is what it happens each week. I do go dig my boy out, and here we are. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. You want to buy a Garebears shirt, go for it. Always fun. So we'll be here next Thursday. Thank you. Good evening. Bye-bye.
His name is Gareth. Hence why it's Gareth's. His name is Gareth. And he rips bits. His name is Gareth. His name is Gareth. Hence why it's Gareth's.